We've got the all-new Honda Passport TrailSport.
All right, spoiler alert, Honda brought its A game.
Let's feel the V6.
You know what's happening in the auto industry? All the brands are going to turbo 4-cylinder engines, and you know what Honda said? Here, hold my beer.
Yep.
So they decided to plumb what under the hood of this thing?
A 3.5-liter V6 with a 10-speed automatic transmission, 285 horsepower, and 262 pound-feet of torque.
This is the first Passport with the second generation intelligent variable torque management all-wheel drive system.
Good news, you can use regular fuel in the Passport.
There are going to be a lot of people attracted to this just because it has a V6.
Yeah.
People are like, why are you getting rid of it? Honda has it. All right, so let's get into what else you get with this Passport.
The base trim comes with a 10.2-inch digital driver display, a 12.3-inch touchscreen with Alexa and Google built in, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a wireless charger, 9-speaker audio system, 10-way power driver's seat with lumbar support, driver seat memory, 4-way power passenger seat, heated front seats, leatherette and cloth upholstery, a heated steering wheel, panoramic sunroof, a power tailgate, and Honda sensing driver assist technology. Since there are more trims in the US, not all of these features are standard.
Well, Andrew and I saw this for the very first time. We saw this color at the LA Auto Show. We saw that cool looking orange one as well. As soon as we saw it, we were like, wow, that is gonna sell.
I'm in love with this green, first off. This is exactly how I would spec it with this interior. This is more capable. In fact, Honda says it is the most capable SUV it has ever built. It has greater ground clearance, all-terrain tires, and that 10-speed automatic transmission has been tuned specifically for Passport.
You know, most buyers don't care about any of that, Andrea. They just like it because it looks cool. And that's what sells vehicles. You know, Honda, as I said at the very beginning, they brought the A game for this vehicle. The styling is right on point. There's a trend towards off-road looking vehicles, even though most people won't take them off-road. That's where this thing plays, and it's going to sell like crazy.
And you know, even if you just want to drive it on road, you want to drive it in the city, you want to drive it on the highway, you've got enough passing power. The 10-speed automatic transmission is very good. There's iBooster, which is supposed to improve the performance of the brakes. The brakes, to me, in the older Passport felt really good. I would have to drive them back to notice the difference, but these are very good.
Okay, so TrailSport gives you a different suspension, and it goes counterintuitive to what a lot of people would think. They would think for a vehicle that is more capable off-road, you firm the suspension up. It's absolutely the opposite. You soften the suspension, it allows you to go down sort of rutted and gravel roads and some sort of light off-road terrain, and it lets the wheels do the work, and it doesn't jar you inside the cabin, gives you more articulation over bumps. So what does that mean for you? If you're driving it on road, it's smoother, it's more comfortable. You get more sidewall with a smaller wheel and a larger tire. This is a great on-roader because of that.
Well, what surprises me so much is the turning radius. It's fantastic. You can turn this thing on a dime. The steering is so light, giving you just such a comfortable driving experience. And then you add that power and the torque. And I'm just really impressed with the whole driving experience. Now, this has got an approach angle of 23 degrees and a departure angle of 23.1 degrees. Now, Honda has also added Trail Torque Logic, which optimizes off-road performance with the all-wheel drive system.
So yeah, they're using traction and stability control, and you think to yourself, well, it's a unibody, it's not a body-on-frame SUV, they're going to be capable off-road. Well, I don't know if you know this, but Land Rovers and Range Rovers, they're unibodies and they're capable off-road.
And guess what? Land Rover's Defender is now a unibody design, and Land Rover says it's its most capable Defender ever produced. Now, I just want to add that this has got 7 drive modes, and That includes trail and tow mode.
Okay, oh, you kind of beat me to it, Andrea. So we've got it in sport right now. What else can you put it in?
Well, you got to put it in S for subscribe. And if you can hit that notification bell, you'll be notified when all of our reviews drop, and then you can watch them.
And we do this, the Cup of Car review twice a week. The first one drops on Wednesday.
We put another one out on Saturday.
All right, Andrea, hit it.
Yeah.
So the nice thing about having 10 gears available is it can drop 2 or 3 gears like that.
Gosh, that's good.
Yep, it's satisfying, and it's a dying breed. Most brands are getting rid of V6s, so the fact they brought a new vehicle to market with a V6, that's just going to get people into the store automatically.
We're on the highway now, and the cabin remains pretty quiet, but most importantly, it's eating up those imperfections in the road. So I think that you'll really enjoy the experience.
So these are General Grabber all-terrain tires, and I'm impressed with them. So we're at highway speeds now, and they're no noisier than you would get with a regular vehicle. All right, Andrea, you pay good money for this. It's not inexpensive. So Passport, they put a lot of Passport. They've got Passport here, they got Passport there, they got Passport on the front, they got Passport on the back, they've got TrailSport everywhere. You get your money worth in badges.
Guess what? You know it's a Passport, and you know it's a TrailSport. I like the color selections that Honda has come out with for the Passport. I just feel like they went that extra mile with this model. I can't tell you how impressed I am with it. I like the exterior design. They moved the antenna to a better location, so if you are on the trail, you won't hit it.
All right, so I would be really torn whether to get this color or the orange one. Those are the two they had on display at the LA Auto Show. I think I'm Camp Orange. Andrea's Camp Green. I think I'm Camp Orange. You type below. Would you get this with the orange one, or would you get this one as the green one?
I love the green. I love the green. The TrailSport models add underbody protection, and they come standard with an active shutter grille, active sound control, and an acoustic windshield. The Passport is longer. It is a bigger model now. It has significantly wider tracks, 1.3 inches in the front and 1.5 inches in the rear. TrailSport models are equipped with stout front and rear recovery points, which is a first for Passport. It has 8.3 inches of ground clearance. It comes standard with LED headlamps, LED tail lamps, 18-inch wheels in shark gray or black, and a compact spare tire.
So the TrailSport models add LED amber daytime running lights, LED fog lights, 18-inch all-terrain tires. In Canada, there's a standard trailer hitch with a harness and hitch panel. This feature is available in the United States. If you go for the blackout models, you get black exterior accents, including the door handles and Honda badging. Oh, I forgot to mention one thing on the outside before we turn our attention to the inside, Andrea. Dodge called, they want their front end back. I think, I was driving and looking at the camera, shooting Andrea driving beside me, and all I see with the front headlamps is Dodge Durango.
I don't know, I really like how they've done the dimensions of those headlights. They look so good.
That's right, Dodge. Okay. I shouldn't be doing that when I'm driving. No. All right, so the inside of this, Andrea, they put Passport everywhere. They like that. And they've got this motif on the tray there above the glove box and in the center console that's meant to look like a topographical kind of thing, like you did in geography class in grade 10. Yeah. So there you go.
You know what? I think that Honda really elevated the Passport. And sometimes I get into Hondas and I'm thinking to myself, oh, maybe not quite as nice. This is really well done. There is a mix of soft touch materials, some hard plastic, but what impresses me the most is the storage. This will fit a full-size tablet. You have the wireless charger, but next to it, I can put my phone if Zach is charging his. Your cup holders. What I don't love, the button shifter, but I'll get used to it.
And also on the doors, you've got 2 levels. You've got a lower tray, an upper tray, 2 bottle holders there. It's all really, really well thought out. You know, they do the same thing with Ridgeline. They have a very well thought out interior in that, so they're kind of leaning into the truck side of things a little bit. You're not going to be disappointed with the interior materials, especially on this top trim. I like the vinyl wrap dash pad here, the contrasting colors. It doesn't take much to make an interior look good. This is well thought out.
I could use less this TrailSport badging on the interior, but once again, something I could get used to. Now, there are 10 cup holders in this, and 6 of them fit a 32-ounce bottle. So they've really concentrated on that, plus storage. And I'm just impressed in Canada with all the standard features it comes with. It was a long list off the top, but these screens in both countries are standard.
Well, that screen, the first time we saw it was in Accord.
Yeah.
Remember the bigger screen? Now it's migrating into other vehicles.
This does not have Sirius XM, but Honda has added Google and Alexa built in. So hopefully you can work around that. I know some are disappointed. This comes standard with cloth and leatherette upholstery. This is the perforated leather, and the TrailSport models have the orange stitching.
Available features include a 12-speaker Bose sound system, ventilated front seats, heated steering wheel, heated rear seats, a hands-free power tailgate, and front and rear parking sensors.
One thing this Passport doesn't offer, yes, it has a power passenger seat, but there is no height adjustment. Honda, add a height adjustment.
Well, this is based on the Honda Pilot. You get a lot of room when you climb into the back. The floor is perfectly flat, so kids will have no problem getting in and out. Great legroom, good headroom. The rear seats do not recline. How does it stack up?
The Passport offers 41.1 inches of front row legroom and 40.9 inches of second row legroom.
Lift the power liftgate on this model. It's got a very large cargo area. Lift the floor and you can see on the right-hand side, that's a temporary spare tire. However, if you want to take a full-size spare tire, the left side of the floor flips to one side and you can put one in and tie it down if you're doing serious off-roading.
Cargo space behind the second row is 44 cubic feet, and maximum overall cargo space is 83.5 cubic feet. This new Passport has the most cargo space in the model's history.
All right, some great questions on this, plus coffee.
Time now for questions, coffee, and cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
Not everyone wants an off-road model. Why not bring one that's a bit less rugged? In the US, you have more trims, but you're right, in Canada, just TrailSport.
I think they're trying to differentiate the lines, so the Passport is going to be your sort of rugged looking and feeling vehicle, and the Pilot, they'll sell you one of those, and you just have to fold the seats down on the third row and you're running on the same platform, same engine.
Yes, but you know what, Zach? Some people really prefer a 5-passenger vehicle that's large and spacious, because if they have a dog and they put that rear seat down, like especially with the third row, it has gaps and they don't like it for their dog. So some who don't need it, the third row, are saying, I want this.
Go and buy a mat from the hardware store.
Yes, you could do that.
And put that down. Yeah. There you go.
Is the back seat room more than the Pilot or the same? It's pretty much the same.
Yeah, you just saw me getting in the back. So what they've done is they leave the wheelbase the same as Pilot. They leave the second row seats in the same position. They get rid of the third row, and then they shorten the vehicle just a little bit overall to give it more proportion. So back to my point a moment ago, you could get by with the Pilot if you wanted a more traditional looking utility.
And also that rear seat legroom on this new Passport is 1.3 inches bigger, so you have more space compared to the previous model, and the wheelbase has grown 2.75 inches, so this is so big and open.
Hey, if you want to get a question in for a future video, you need to follow along on Instagram. It's Motormouth_Andrea to get a question in and to see what's going on behind the scenes. For me, it's Motormouth_Auto, and the links are below the like button.
Would you recommend towing an RV trailer with this V6 or the Toyota Turbo 4-cylinder hybrid?
Well, I would probably think that a lot of people will be interested in the V6 for, longevity. However, a turbocharged engine has the ability to do, ramming the air into the cylinders at higher elevations. There's a mosquito in here. At higher elevations, a turbo is going to compensate for elevation. As the oxygen gets thinner, you can ram more in with the turbo, and that might be something you need to consider.
Look, if I was going to tow all the time, because these Turbo 4s, hey, let's face it, they're new. Like these manufacturers are trying them out on these SUVs. So we don't know about longevity, but of course, manufacturers will tell you that they're fine. Yes, they're capable, but I would prefer, if I was towing often, longevity, V6.
And now it's time for our hot topic. What's this one, Andrea?
Are the top trims worth the price based on what they provide versus competitors?
Spoiler alert, in Canadian dollars, this top trim is roughly 65, including freight, PDI, and fees. You think about a compact utility, a lot of them are in that $45,000 range easily.
Yeah.
So for $20,000 more, you're getting a lot more product. V6, 10-speed, way bigger, off-road capable, and looks cool as hell. I don't think it's too crazy out of whack.
So when you compare this to something like a 4Runner, which I know a lot are looking at, although we don't really think it is comparable because one's a body-on-frame SUV and one's a unibody. This is much bigger than 4Runner, but the base model in Canada starts at just over $60,000, and Zach's right, that top trim is almost $65,000. The gap isn't that great, and boy, does this ever come with a load of standard features. You don't get all these standard features in something like 4Runner.
All right, so we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves. It's vital stats, the price, and more.
The Canadian pricing includes freight, PDI, and fees. The base model starts at just over $60,000, and the top trim blackout is just under $65,000. In the US, the RTL starts at just under $45,000, and the top trim blackout is just over $53,500.
Well, it comes with a V6, so the fuel economy isn't stellar. 12.6 liters per 100 kilometers city, 9.9 on the highway. That's just 19 miles per gallon in the city, 25 on the highway. It can tow, though, up to 5,000 pounds, and the warranty is 3 years, 60,000 kilometers, or 36,000 miles. So if you like the idea of an off-road kind of capable SUV, some are unibody, some are body on frame, 4 to consider.
For your consideration, 4 vehicles for you to consider.
Up first is the Ford Bronco 4-door with a 2.3-liter EcoBoost 4-cylinder, 300 horsepower, and a starting price of $53,000.
The Toyota 4Runner with a 2.4-liter turbo 4-cylinder, 278 horsepower, and a starting price of $57,000.
The Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport with a 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder, 269 horsepower, and a starting price of $52,000.
The Mazda CX-70 with a 3.3-liter inline 6-cylinder turbo, 340 horsepower, and a starting price of $52,000.
So there are 4 5-passenger SUVs for you to consider.
Lightning round, 2 things we like, 2 things we like to see improve.
I like the comfortable driving experience this offers.
Honda brought its A-game.
I'm feeling really short here. I need a height adjustment on the passenger side.
My only thing is I wish we had the non-TrailSport models to get in the US available in Canada, but that's a minor gripe. They're going to sell all of these, Andrea. This is going to be a massive hit. What do you guys think of that? Orange or green? Type below.
Thanks for watching, and if you like what you see, subscribe. We'll see you next time.